Thank you for your interest in the Jarvie Historic Ranch Curriculum Project. I am Amanda Sherman, and this lesson is Ranching in Browns Park. This lesson is intended for grades 4th through 6th. So in this lesson, please plan for about 60 to 90 minutes, or you can divide the class into 2 periods. Please group the students in groups of 4 to 5. And materials that you will need include 10 marbles, 1 manila folder, pencils, paper, and rope or string for each student. In this lesson, students will gain an understanding of ranching in Colorado, Wyoming, and Utah between the 1880s and 1920s. So ranching is an important aspect in the American West and is significant in the history of the United States. Ranching gave food and labor to an expanding economy, and after the Civil War and the implementation of the railroad, it really blossomed into a large enterprise. With the advent of the railroad, ranching expanded throughout the continent. Ranching also had a significant impact on the environment, changing ecosystems wherever it went. In 1946, the Bureau of Land Management was created and was established to manage federal lands. The Bureau of Land Management, along with scientists and ranchers, developed management programs to protect public lands. Students in this lesson will learn about cattle drive management. They will also have the opportunity to explore how ranching changed over time, and students will learn about the life of the cowboy. This lesson reaches social studies core standards for Wyoming, Colorado, and Utah. Prior to teaching this lesson, teachers should be familiar with the basic history of ranching in Utah, Colorado, and Wyoming. This is included in the lesson in an appendix. Included in this lesson is a vocabulary for students to engage. These include words such as livestock, rangeland, overgrazing, cattle brand, Honda knot, and cattle rustler. The first activity is the cattle drive. Students will learn that it takes a lot of work to work on a cattle drive, and each member of the team is important. What you will need are 10 marbles, 1 manila folder, and the cattle drive position handout, which is included in this lesson. Group each of the students into groups of 4 to 5. Have one person in each group hold a closed manila folder. Place the 10 marbles on top of the folder and have one student hold that folder. That student is then to navigate around the classroom, around desks and chairs. It's the job of the other students to pick up any dropped marbles and put them back on the manila folder. This teaches teamwork, and it also teaches the difficulty in herding cattle. That's why each member of the team was important. The modern cattle drive. Along with this lesson, students can learn about the modern cattle drive to see that ranches are not just a thing of the past. Included in this is a YouTube link to myamericanfarm.org and a video about the modern day cattle drive in Utah. After engaging in these activities, discuss with the students the life of what a cowboy is, what the life of the cowboy is, what is a cattle drive, and why is it important to work as a team. The next activity has to do with cattle branding. Have students watch the YouTube that's included in the lesson, and then explain that cattle ranchers used cattle brands to help identify their cattle. This helped protect them from cattle rustling, as well as helped identify which cattle were theirs when they were in larger herds. After finishing the video, let the students view the attached Marks and Brands page. This is an actual brand book from the time that John Jarvie lived in Browns Park and shows some Browns Park brands. The students will then design their own brand based on something that they think is important to them, and that is personal. Remember, cattle ranchers used brands and designed them from important symbols from their family, so whether it be initials or something else that symbolizes their family, like a family crest animal or something similar to that. So students will then be able to design their own using pencil and paper, and they will be able to share why they chose the brand that they chose. After the students have created their own brands using pencil and paper, discuss with them what a cattle brand means, and what is cattle rustling, why are brands useful, and who were the first people to use the cattle brands. There's an extension for grades 7 through 12 with this activity where they will use and create stamps. They will do this using paper, art gum erasers, X-Acto knives, pencils, and ink pads. Please remember using safety instructions when using the X-Acto knives. The instructions for the stamps are located in the lesson, and just follow them. They're very simple instructions, but remember to carve the mark and brand that the student chose in reverse. Thank you, and I hope that you and your students enjoy the ranching lesson included in the Jarvie Historic Ranch curriculum project.